calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Forza Motorsport 4. I'm excited to continue on with this one tonight. Should be fun. We got through one of the one of the series in the last video. I can't remember the exact name off the top of my head. I'm going to switch over to the stream format. There we go. Hope everyone's... Ow! Gosh, dang, that hurt. I just hit my wrist on the side of my chair. That really hurt. Goodness. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. Let's get right into the action and play some Forza 4. Oh, man. Make some adjustments. Last time out, the game overpowered me quite heavily, so I'm turning the game volume down a little bit to try to help with that this go around. So yeah. Should be a fun time though. I know I said this last time, but I really take for granted how fast modern systems and computers load games up. It's crazy to me. There it goes, finally. Alright, let's get into this career mode. I made a promise to a friend that if he watched the stream tonight, I would build his car, as his car is in this game. I don't know if he's watching right now. Kason, if you're here, type some in the chat. I told you earlier when we were on the Discord, I'd build your car if you get in here. But until I hear if he's here or not, we are now in the Masters division. We're 4 divisions away from the end of the game.
A number of special events featuring truly fast cars, including special race models.
I think we're starting off at Silverstone, I believe, was where ended up last video. Is this going to be the full GP circuit? Is it going to be like the Stowe circuit? It's the Stowe circuit. Or the National circuit. We have the S4 Club, we've got the CTSV Club, and the Class C European Tour. I think I already... If I switch to the Golf R, is it going to show me anything? There is a Golf R spec series. Interesting. But mine is well above the limits on that one. I don't know if we switch over to the Corvette. There's a handful of Corvette related things we could do. We got our trusty Leon Cupra R. It's out of spec for all 3 events. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm just kind of killing time right now. I'm trying to think about what I would want to drive this series. So this would be kind of cool. TBH. I love the DTM stuff, and I love the Opel DTM cars. That's crazy. The TC was still considered cool back then. I'm sorry, I forgot we bought the Altezza last time out. I think that was the last car we used. Oh, I love that this is in the game because this was one that was kind of a forbidden fruits with Gran Turismo 4. Not this exact one, but the Exxon. It was Esso, but it was the Esso Supra and Gran Turismo 4. It was kind of a forbidden fruit for us Americans that didn't get to experience this car back in the day. And the GT1, of course, which we're already playing around with the GT2 A-Spec, so there's no point in really showing that off tonight. I like that every generation of GTI was in this game at the time. Like Mark 1 through Mark 6. Well, actually, now I think about it, I don't see the Mark 4 GTI. But there's a Mark 4 32, so all 6 gens of Golf were, at the time, 6 gens were in the game. Oh, Renault. I'm really the 5 Turbo, the Twingo, the Clio RS, Clio V6. That's actually one of my fiance's favorite cars. That is not the Micra I remember. What? I never actually knew the Versa was in this game. Why is this here? I guess Forza had to have their weird car picks too. The Yellow Hat Supra. I have a replica of this on GT7. Wrong key. Oh, definitely don't want the R390. When it is time to go to a prototype car, what should I pick on that? Because I'm like torn on that. Like, does the CLK GTR count, or is this? I mean, it's technically the road car. McLaren. They do have the 2 F1 GTRs in the game, so that's kind of cool. 787B, is that an option? Oh, the Speed 3. Love to see that again. The Furai is in here, but not the 787B. That's kind of a disservice, in my opinion. MC20 maybe. I don't know, that doesn't really count as a prototype race car to me, but Lotus, you've got some more road kind of cars. I doubt Lexus has anything other than these Super GT type stuff. The Mira concept. I also didn't know this was in this game. This has always been like a cool car to me. How much was it? 420,000 credits. XJR9 maybe? Is that in here? No XJR9. You know, Infinity's never made any race cars. We have some racing Genesis coupes. Any Honda race cars of note? The Takata Dome NSX. Not a bad choice. Some Holden supercars. Gumpert. GMC, no. Ford. I expect some good race cars here. And the Fusion Sport for some reason. Okay, we got the GT40. Got a lot of the Australian supercars. The NASCAR. Ferrari maybe. I have a feeling the 333 SP is going to be in this game. Wow, that was a lot of Ferraris. It was. I figured as such. That I feel that might be a good choice. It's a car I have not experienced in any other racing games. Devon. That's a weird looking car. I think the North Star LMP's in this game. Yeah, there it is. B12 LMR.
Boosted Kaijo. Said yo.
Hey, there's Kason. Alright, he's here. I have to hold my end of the bargain now. Alright, since he's here, I told him earlier if he logged into the chat, I'd build his car. Alright, let's get the color choice right. That's more like green. There we go. 26,000 credits. Not too bad. Alright, Kason, what's your call? We building this out or are we keeping it tame? Oh, my Xbox Live just got disconnected. Interesting. Stream's fine. So it looks like we can't go too crazy. 425 seems to be the limit of what we're going to be able to use this car for anyway. So let's tune it up a little bit. Go over to the upgrade shop. I don't know why I got disconnected though. That's weird. So 425 is going to be our limit. We could go all the way up to the sport tire. Race tire alone will break regs. And because I've driven so many GTI VWs in this game already, just in a little bit we've played, I get all the parts for free. Okay, yeah, we're going to be really pushing
Boosted Kaijo. Said sounds good.
Shoot. There's no limit. There's nothing else I can do here without cracking the regs. Even an intercooler. Oh, flywheel. Okay. We are right on the nose now of the performance point regs, if you want to call them that. Let's put some wheels on it. Kason, I don't know if you've got the stream at its latest. Throw me a curveball here. Let me know what you're thinking. Looks like the stream delay is pretty far back, actually. Yeah, it's actually like really far. I just pulled up the live view on my end, and it just got to where I backed out of the part shop. So, okay, so just throw me a brand name. We've got plenty of wheel brands here. I'm going to try to find wheels, because this game does take into account weight of wheels. So we can't go like super lightweight, but throw me a brand name, and I got you. Got a handful of good options. BBS, I think we're going to definitely see. Yeah, it breaks into B class on BBSs. Inky breaks into B class.
Boosted Kaijo. Said do they have any Oz?
I believe they do have Oz wheels. I have a feeling these are definitely going to crack regs. Yep, there it is. I can take the flywheel off, though, and that will fix that. We got the Super Turismos and the Super Leggera 3s. I can take that lightweight flywheel off and we'll be fine. So, if any of these get your fancy. I'm kind of liking the Super Turismos on it, honestly. It looks pretty good. It's even got the same headlights yours used to have. Old halogen looking things. Keep the stock wheels.
Boosted Kaijo. Said keep stock wheels.
Okay, well, your choice. I kind of liked the Super Turismos on it. They look pretty good. Alright. Let's see, I'll apply a decal or so. We'll see what we got here. Excuse me. Nah, I don't like any of these. I think that the window tint is its own thing. But Kaysen's car doesn't have window tint.
Boosted Kaijo. Said I did too, but if we keeping to my car currently then this is more accurate.
Fair enough. Alright, let's go racing. Let's see. Would Kaysen's car be good on a track? We know it is. It is crazy. This was one of the last video games released before the Mark 7 came out. So it's one of the last times you'll see the Mark 6 as the newest GTI in a video game. In reality, I think it was one of the only times the Mark 6 GTI was in a game at all. Like, because typically it's the Golf R. They got the nod. This brings back memories to the first time I ever played Forza Motorsport 1. Because it was one of the early European races where that was at Silverstone. And you could do that in a Mark IV R32 as a starter. Grid. Let's see what we got. It's Mark 6, Mark 6, Mark 5, Mark 5, Mark 3, Mark 6, Mark 3, and Mark 2. Pretty stacked lineup. A lot of Mark 6s. Make up the grid here. Everyone had to have the newest car. Alright, let's go racing. Oh, we're off to a pretty shoddy start. I will say, graphics-wise, this game hasn't aged as bad as I thought it did. Definitely, Gran Turismo 5 still solos, and Gran Turismo 6 obviously, but not bad graphics overall. That red one's just completely off track. Get some first-person action. A little bit of a draft. It cracks me up. I don't know if y'all have noticed. This car's paddle shifters, and yet he's treating the car like a manual. That car is so far off track. Goodness. Okay, and I thought the GT7 AI was bad. I like I have the thumbstick fully turned, and he's like barely turned the wheel. A little bit of damage, nothing too serious. Got 4 laps around here. Not too bad. That texture's pretty bad when you hit the brakes. That brake light is terrible. The drive's actually surprisingly well though. Like, it's not like all over the place. Oh, say that. Actually, I caught it pretty quick.
Boosted Kaijo. Said sounds N/A and straight piped.
I don't know about straight piped, but I think turbo noise probably just not going to hear very well. Typically, when you start modding these cars, you start hearing all sorts of racket. It's fun though. It's a fun little car to drive. My personal playthrough, I don't think I played around with the one I bought on that playthrough too much before I started the stream series back almost 2 years ago now. A little grass cutting doesn't hurt. Free landscaping, right? Yeah, that downshift in the second was really unnecessary. Or was it, really? Driving like the AI right now. Goodness me. power down a little bit. Come on. There we go. One more lap to go. I think it would be cool to kind of see what we can do, like push up GTI to its limits. I think I'm going to keep this one, but I might get a Mark V and we'll build like a full race car and just see what the limit is. Since I get all the parts for free on it anyway. Once you build a brand loyalty, you get discounts up to free parts. Only pay for the car. So thankfully I have that with VW because I drove the Fox for so much during the early parts of the... Well, I don't know. I didn't pick the Fox at the beginning. What did I drive that gave me so much brand loyalty in this series? Because I know my personal playthrough, I drove the Fox. Because I wrote a very childish word on the side of it, thinking it was funny to race a car with that word on it. Ooh, cut that a little too sharp. But dubs. There you go. Casey's car is good around the track. Alright, race results. How did the grid fare? I usually don't check it. But 2 Mark 6s. Mark 6, 1, 2. And then a Mark 3 out of nowhere. Two credit damage penalty. Couldn't have just let me get away with that. Oh, hold on. Driver car reward. Prize car time. Oh, a 25 grand bonus.
Boosted Kaiju. Said hell yeah, brother.
Alright. Time to pick a little prize. See what we got. It's hypercar something. I didn't get a good look at what that said. Oh, ho, ho, ho. The Forza gods have spoiled me today. Bugatti EB110 SS, the McLaren F1, the Ferrari F50, and the Jaguar XJ220. Some of my favorite cars ever made. Oh man, this is actually one of the hardest decisions I've made thus far with one of these prize cars because they're all good. But I do think the F50 is my least favorite of the group. I don't mind the F50, but I think if I had to pick between the EB110, the F1, and the XJ220, and the F50, I'm gonna pick the F50 last.
Boosted
honestly.
Kaiju. Said EB10.
See, I'm torn because I've barely experienced McLaren F1 in video games. But I've also I've never driven the EB110 in video games. Like, these are the two I'm really torn between right now. Because the XJ220 is great.
Boosted Kaiju. Said do EB10.
I'm gonna trust...
Boosted Kaiju. Said EB110.
I'm gonna trust Kaysen's wording on this one. As much as it hurts with the McLaren F1, that's one of my favorite cars ever made. I'm going to take the Bugatti. I mean, this was before VW Group took over, but it is... I mean, Bugatti was owned by VW Group at the time this came out, so does it count as a VW Group car? The question is what color. I'm not really feeling anything other than the blue. I think that's like you have to get blue on an EB110. Where are we off to next?
Today
We are heading to Florida, it looks like. Sunset Peninsula. I don't really care for this track. So we have the hatch body style, the North America C-Class Tour, and the 12-cylinder flagship face-off. I don't even think I have a 12-cylinder car. Other than the one Lambo.
Boosted Kaiju. Said blue is the only color I've seen on them.
Yeah, same. We have the Lambo Miura. We have the Mercedes, the SL65 Black. We got the Bentley, the Ferrari 330 P4, and the Lambo Countach. I don't think the EB110 was a V12. We can do that. We can keep the hatchback open and run the Mark 6 again. But I do, while we're here, want to do a crazy Mark 5 build. Just like full race car status. We may race it later, but I do want to keep with Kaysen's car. Or the V12 thing. But also I've been wanting to build a Beetle Turbo STBH. But I think I'm going to do a Mark 5. I have to get it in the right color too. There is a right color. Well, other than black, obviously. That is not Tornado Red. 16,000 credits too. It's not bad. That bonus we just got for that last race paid for this car pretty much, and then some. I can fix the paint discrepancy though. Problem solved. Now it's Tornado Red. I think I can actually paint the hood like carbon, can't I? I don't think I can. Dang. We're gonna go full race car status with this one, and then we're gonna keep it ready to roll for some, just, I don't know, just some crazy events we can find for it. We're gonna tint the windows. Gosh, this game loads so slow in comparison to like all the modern stuff I play. I take this stuff for granted. I really do. We'll leave the decals alone for now because it's kind of hard to work with the livery editor in this game. You don't really have a lot of options, and obviously with the online being shut down this game for quite a long time, you ain't getting very far on that front. And I love my free parts. Look at that, we're already up to 364 horsepower, which in Gran Turismo 7 land would be the max power this thing could make, probably. Guess we'll find out. This thing's on the lead car list. The Mark 5 is 506, 519 horsepower, 531 horsepower. See, we're not gonna get a horsepower game, but yeah, 531 horsepower is the final power for this car. That's actually like really good. All right, full race suspension, sway bars all the way around. Throw the cage in, it'll get us up to 600 performance points, and we're going to drop the weight. We're in S-Class now, so there's that. We might honestly break into R-Class, R3 probably. I think 650s were cars breaking R3. I think I might go without the diff. It's not changing anything. Race tires, we'll go with wider tires. Alright, let's throw some good wheels on it. I think I'm going to go with those Super Turismos. From earlier, because I really like how those looked. Only thing I had to pay for. So I do want to see what we're looking at. I think I am going to bump it up one wheel size all around. Okay, so S-Class does not end at the 700 mark. All right, let's see what kind of body kits we got. We've got a handful. This is what I love about Forza 4 and you know, back, is that they had really good cosmetic options for the majority of the cars. We've got Apt, we've got Oettinger, and then obviously the race car, you know, Forza AIO, which does bump us into R3, which the Apt and the Oettinger kit does not do. This car is going to be full race car, so I think we're going to do the full AIO. Let's see, I do want to see the wings. The Oettinger is so small, like I can't tell the difference between the Oettinger, the Apt, and the stock one. Oettinger too, strictly foreign, and then obviously the race wing. Oh, it actually bumped us back down into S. Oh, I'm not a fan of either one of these bumpers. I might keep the OEM bumper on it. Interesting on the spoiler. See, I don't know how I feel about that, because that, like, kicks us out of R3, which is what I was planning on using this car in. But at the same time, I think the S4 is an R3, is it not? And we can convert it to all-wheel drive. I'm going to do that, honestly. Do I need to rebuy all the drivetrain parts again? I do. At least it's all free. We're just going balls to the wall. Does it make sense to have an all-wheel drive GTI race car? No, not really. Even though I think about it, the whole point was to have a crazy front-wheel driver. So, I don't know. Maybe can I switch it back? I could.
Harold Magnus Madsen said hi JSM.
Hello. Oh, I gotta install the drivetrain stuff again. Son of a gun. But now does the diff bump us up? So we lost performance points somewhere down the line, and I'm not entirely sure why. If I'm switching back to the front-wheel drive. This I'm just seeing things. Just making sure on that front before I start messing with stuff again. Okay, well, I think to keep this thing in R3, I have to bump the wing back. But I don't know at the same time. I think, where's the S4 sit? Where does the S4 sit? It's in R3 as well, so I don't need to have it in R3. Because that's where the S4 is, and I don't necessarily need that. But it is kind of a shame, though. I can't... Like, I could make this better than the S4 if I did the all-wheel drive. But it just doesn't feel right all-wheel drive swapping the Mark V when I could build that Mark VI Golf R that we have as well for that. But let's go see what this thing can do. Oh, I hit too many buttons. One thing I'm going to do as well before we get too much farther, I'm going to do some adjustments to our suspension. I'm going to stiffen up the rear sway bar, try to balance out, because owning a GTI in real life and having done a little bit of some autocross with it, I have learned that they are very susceptible to very random and sudden oversteer in the back with rear sway bar, and that really helps out with the handling. Alright, this should drop the car down as well, so it should look a little better. Am I able to do like a free look? Oh, well, I can just see it there. Alright, let's go racing. Let's see what we can do here at Sunset Peninsula with this thing. Can't do anything with it. We built that car, did not do anything. Love that. So let's go back to Kaysen's Mark VI. I was curious if it was going to let me race that car. We'll probably find something for it. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I really didn't like this track all that much. Alright, let's check out the grid. What do we got? My controller is not working. There it goes. Alright, we got a Seat Leon. We've got a Mugen Civic, Renault Clio. Got an 09 Mini. We have another Mark VI. We got us. 06 Focus. I assume that's a Focus ST. And the Peugeot 206. Pretty stacked roster, actually. This might be a good race for our plucky little Mark VI. Alright, let's go racing. Big front-wheel drive burnout. Let's see what this thing can do. Ooh. Bumped into him straight away. Took out our compatriot there. Whoops. Maybe I haven't hit the right buttons in the showroom, but I haven't heard Jeremy Clarkson's voice at all recently. Little EP3 Civic. Our front bumper's looking a little rough now. 5 laps too. That's crazy talk right there. Well, you are in the Masters division, but like, you know, late brake hard. Oh gosh, that did not really work. I paid the price for that move. So we can get a little bit of a draft off of the Seat in front of us. Looks like that Renault is coming up on us pretty quick. Come on. I'll late brake a little bit, not quite as risky as before. Oh, it cut right on me. That sucks. I had that inside line, he just cut straight into the front bumper of this thing. A little banged up.
Boosted Kaiju. Said looks like my bumper.
Wish I could fix the stream delay. I don't know why it's so heavily delayed, because I'm sure, like, you typed that a long time before I actually heard it. Three more laps to go out here. I wonder how much this track was used in online back when this game was new. Like, for like people trying to do NASCAR events and stuff. So I don't know if Daytona was in this game. I know Sebring was. I don't know how exclusive Daytona's licensing with all the NASCAR games and Gran Turismo 5 was at the time. Obviously the Top Gear license wasn't that exclusive because it's in both GT5 and this game. This track's got one heck of a road course layout.
Boosted Kaiju. Said spank me poppy.
And here he goes. He's really figured out the Texas Beach works. Okay, so don't make me regret putting this Texas Beach on, bro. There we go. Nice and easy to do that corner. I will say it sounds better in this game than the GTI does in like Need for Speed Underground 2. No one see that. I've been playing through Underground 2 in my free time, and golly, a lot of cars sound bad in there.
Boosted Kaiju. Said yeah ha 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 we
Alright then. One more lap to go. I got a bit of a commanding lead, not too crazy. You know, another game I want to try on stream soon that is going to be a meme fest for you guys. Probably. Oh my goodness, voice crack. Would be, I got a hold of a copy of EA Sports WRC. Dang, I was really trying to keep this clean. And I want to see how bad I do at that. I used to play Dirt 2 a lot, and I got Dirt 3, and those are the last, like, strictly rally games I ever played. God, I hate grapple in this game. It just stops you. So unrealistic grapple physics. It's supposed to just slow you down a little bit, not just bring you to a halt. But it's been so long up until now since I played a rally racing game, so it might be interesting to play that on stream for you guys. But dubs. That gravel trap trip really slowed me down and got that Civic right back on me, but still pulled it off. We got the Seat in P3, we got the Peugeot 206 in P4, the Clio in 5th, the Mini in 6th, the other Mark 6 in 7th, and in 8th, the Focus, I presume ST. 1400 credit, damage penalty. Level 7 affinity reward, got a 35,000 credit bonus from VW. Good stuff. Love to see it. Probably won't see another prize car for a bit, but might be a fun one. Alright, where are we off to next?
Now it's back to the Georgia asphalt.
Oh, these guys are in trouble. These guys are in trouble. That's a freaking club circuit. Are you kidding me? And it's a Corvette only event? Are you serious? Please tell me it's not the only option. Let me get the S4 out. Nope. Is that seriously it? Like, am I going to be forced to drive a Corvette? Looks like I'm driving a Corvette. Luckily, I have just the Corvette for this. There she is. Get the GS out. Oh, overpowered for it. Am I going to have to buy a Corvette? That's the only one I have. It is. Gosh dang it. Alright, well, let's go buy a Corvette. Was it specific on what gen? It just said a Corvette. Oh, it's a Chevrolet track day, so it's not just Corvettes. So does that mean I could buy like a Cobalt SS and like shred? See what my options are. Oh, we should just build a Spark. Why not? A lot of classic Chevys. Could go with the Cobalt SS just for funsies. Or we could go Corvette and just be boring. But it's got to be in like top of A class. I feel like the Cobalt or the Camaro would be good. I'm leaning the Cobalt just because I have a bit more of an attachment to that. Could go C4 Grand Sport as well. I'm surprised the C4 ZR1's not in this game. That does shock me a little bit. What's the call? Anyone in the chat who wants to indulge me on this? Are we doing the Cobalt, the C4 C4 Grand Sport, excuse me, or the 5th gen Camaro SS? So I'm leaning the Cobalt, but we've also done a lot of front-wheel drive Turbo 4 cars today. Let's go with the Camaro. Change it up a little bit. I've done a lot of Turbo 4-cylinder front-wheel drive cars.
Harold Magnus Madsen said Cobalt.
See, I was torn on that because, like I said, I've done a lot of stuff with front-wheel drive Turbo 4s. Like, I'm really torn. See, if I do the thing, like, if I hit the button, will it do the Jeremy Clarkson thing? What do I need to do? Just sit here?
Harold Magnus Madsen. Said you decide.
How do I trigger Jeremy Clarkson? Gosh, I'm torn. I'm really leaning between these two, honestly, because the C4, I mean, I just don't like the C4 that much. Like, in comparison to the other Corvettes. I know, to some, that might be a hot take. I know there's a lot of C4 fans out there. But... I don't know if... Is Kaysen still in here? Did he leave? Says we got 4 concurrent viewers. I don't see Kaysen though in the chat. Need a tiebreaker vote. Well, he may tie the vote, honestly, and then I have to make that tiebreaker vote. I don't like this game anymore. I could just get a C6 Z06 and call it a day. I mean, that is one of my favorite cars. You know, we'll be boring. We'll just be boring. Well, hold on. Let me make sure this fits. It does. We're gonna be boring. So I think, what was it, 600 performance points is the limit? So we have a tiny bit of wiggle room, and I mean tiny bit of wiggle room on this car. We'll do intake and exhaust. That's all we can do. We're already there. Just try to give it a little bit of a punch and power just so it can get around these guys pretty easily. So the goal with this is to pass an A-class car by the event's host Chevrolet. Okay, so just gotta make some passes. See, my theory with the Cobalt and why I was like leaning towards it at first was, in theory, a built Cobalt should be able to hold its own with a stock Corvette. You know, upgraded engine, do some suspension and tires, it should be able to keep up pretty well with the stock Corvette. A mildly tuned Corvette like this one, I'm not so sure. Maybe in the corners. But on the straights, I think the Corvette would take it with the couple of mods we did with this car. But might be a close fight. Let's see what we've got on the grid for our track day. 62 cars. Does not tell us the grid. I assume it's going to be a bunch of probably Cobalts, honestly. Or Sparks. Alright, let's see what our plucky little C6 do. Z06 do.
Harold Magnus Madsen. Said dat Z06 is actually surprisingly good in Snow Rally in GT5, LOL.
Really? I'm going to have to try that next time I play GT5. You know, I've never given the rear-wheel drive cars the time of day in the snow rallies in GT5 and 6. I mean, really, in any GT game, honestly. I've always... Oh, GG's. That didn't happen. This is why I run front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, is because this game, the physics are so slippery with rear-wheel drive cars. Things never change, do they? Because the new Forza is just... Oh! GG's. Popped that spark straight up in the air. Holy sliding. So I know some cars you couldn't put snow tires on, I think. I know with GT4. I don't know about GT5. It may be a little bit more lenient. I've passed 10 cars, and I need to pass 62 in 4 laps. It is what I expected, though, just a bunch of freaking sparks. Golly, get out of the way. Hey, come on, get out of here. Slow me down. We're gonna get a nasty... Oh, come on. Flat out? Probably shouldn't have done that. Yep. Alright, we're up to 20. Pretty much 20 cars. So in any other racing game, I could not have gotten that ballsy in the final turn of Road Atlanta. Smoking a good bit. This engine's cooked. What a unfortunate first outing for this thing. That's absolutely smashing it about. There we go. $25 cars, we need to get quite a bit more. This thing is hating life right now.
Harold Magnus Madsen said fair and balanced overtake, rolling on the floor laughing.
Sputtering, like the car is like sputtering. Come on, why they like gotta be parked right on the racing line? That's not me lifting, by the way. That is the car sputtering from engine damage. Because these sparks are like parking right where I'm trying to be. I mean, I can't expect AI from 2011 to be super aware, but like, they're about as bad as Gran Turismo 3s, honestly. They will adhere to the line and will do everything in their power to adhere to it. It means hit your car or get in your way, they will do it. Alright, we're getting there. We're up to almost 50 cars. We got one more lap to go. Makes me a little nervous. So we've cooked this Corvette pretty bad. Alright, we're up to 51. We gotta get 9 more cars. Or actually 11 more cars. My math's not mathing. Now we need 10 cars. I need to make 10 overtakes and barely over a mile. That flame out of the back, it is mad at me. Usually wouldn't cut that corner, but don't really have an option when they just park right in the way. Alright, we're up to 59 cars. We need 3 more. And there's our 3. And we got it. Nice, okay. Let's see, can we get it close to 70 cars? Are we about to? No, we're not going to end this on 69 cars. That would be great, though. We might. Can we get 69 cars? Are we going to end this on 69? Yes, we are. Nice. That Corvette's cooked, but we did it. 69 is our score. Heck yeah. 7,300 credits. Damage penalty. Goodness. That's crazy. Hey, now parts are free on Chevrolet, so that's cool. That is crazy. Alright, let's move on to our next event. That is kind of crazy that it's the only option we had for an event. I would have been really excited to have more options. I mean, that's my home track.
Today, we return to the Amalfi region for another race through the
Rally
streets of
di
Italy.
Positano. So we've got Chevrolet sports cars and 12-cylinder face-off. Why don't we test out that Bugatti we got earlier? I believe this counts as a V12 of some sort, right? I genuinely can't remember what engine is in this car, but apparently it's a 12-cylinder. I'm pretty sure it's a V12 twin turbo. The EB110 is kind of a forbidden fruit for us Americans. I always thought it was the V6 twin turbo, like the XJ220 for some reason. Tis indeed a quad turbo V12. Okay. So we're definitely definitely qualified for this one. All right, let's see what our grid is for our 12-cylinder face-off here in Italy. We've got the MC12, the Lamborghini Reventon, the Ferrari 599 GTO, the Aston 177.
Harold Magnus Madsen said that EB110 gives me Enthusia vibes.
I have heard so many things, so many good things about Enthusia, and I've never played it. I think that might be on my list of older racing games I need to try. Got McLaren F1. We've got us. We're the only EB110 on the grid. That's kind of surprising. Murcielago LP640 and the 599 GTB Fiorano, I presume. All right, see what this Bugatti can do. Never driven the EB110 in any video games that I can remember. But I did pick the all-wheel drive cars. This thing should be a freaking monster. This was also the last Bugatti to be built before VW Group took them over and created the monster that was the Chiron and the Veyron. Big slide, and we pretty much come to a stop there. The Maserati is going to be a bit of a threat. MC12s are really good cars, so I expect him to give us some trouble. It's been a while since I've played this game. Like, you know, I talked about the last stream. It's been, at that point, 2 years almost since I've last played this. This track gives me City D Aria vibes from Gran Turismo 4. But at least the track isn't so narrow like City D Aria is. Ooh, big crash. Goodness. That hurt my soul. I hit that wall so hard. And I saw engine damage. This thing might start sputtering just like the C6 did in the last race. The physics of this game is just probably the biggest thing. And I know I said the same thing for GT2 spec, but Forza physics have just always been slippery. But they're predictable. You know, like it's a consistent physics engine. Whereas GT2 as a whole, is not a spec's fault, as I've said before, is very unpredictable. I have a really hard time knowing how that game's going to react. This one, you know, it's the physics are slippery, but at least know it's coming. Like any sort of harsh behavior causes these cars to step out if they're all or rear-wheel drive. It's a very oversteer focused physics engine. And unless your driving style heavily favors oversteer, you're not going to enjoy the physics engine very much in this game. Unless you're just an avid Forza fan. This is considered to be the best Forza game, and I do definitely see the argument. Because as much as I love Forza 6, I've honestly had more fun playing this than I ever did Forza 6. Even though I think Forza 6's physics are better. It's been actually a very long time since I played Forza 6. I think if I had to pick a Simcade Games physics engine right now, like if I had to pick my favorite one, it would probably be GT7. It's probably the best part about GT7 is the physics engine has improved so much over time. This thing is just all over the road. I can't control it very well. Probably some of it's the damage this car's gotten, but I'm having a really hard time keeping it from pinballing everywhere. Golly. Everything's heavily damaged right now except for the engine. I imagine some of my handling woes are related to the cosmetic damage, and I'd assume that's probably in the physics in the form of aero issues. because I'm noticing a lot more understeer than I was earlier, even without the suspension damage. Like this track in like a slower, nimble car would be really fun. Something like a Miata or even like one of the VWs from earlier. Or the S2000. I think that those would be some really fun cars around here. But it is interesting that out of all tracks, the 12-cylinder face-off is an option here. Because this track's a little technical for these big cars that need a lot of running room to go fast. This is a good track though. Even if I was pinballing everywhere. But that is a dub for the Bugatti EV110. A 6,400 credit damage penalty. That sucks. Alright, where's our next race at?
Today,
We're heading over, it looks like France? Spain? Spain, I guess? Southern France, Spain. Class S World Championship. Alright, so here's our options. We can run the Mark V that we built earlier. I can go build the Mark VI that I already have had in this game for a while. The Mark 6R. Or we can do the R3 Championship and use the B5S4. Those are the cars that I have. The LFA could also be used here, but I genuinely want to try that Mark V that I built. These are our options for S-Class between these two. The LFA is great, but I really want to try this Mark V GTI that I built for this event. We can also do R3 and run the Audi S4. I think what I might wind up doing is I do want to build that Mark 6R. Because, I mean, the parts are free anyway. Honestly, don't even know if I've ever driven this car. What are my other A-class cars? I don't want to compromise this one. Okay, we got plenty. The C6, the, what's the GT500 in B-class? It's crazy. The F430 and the Cadillac. Okay, we got a lot of A-class representation here. We're good. I can chop up this Mark 6R. This one I have a feeling will get in the R3 and stay in R3. Okay, I've already modified it slightly. Okay, yeah, I have done actually a good bit of work to this car apparently. Okay, well there we go. That's our max power. I've already done brakes. I've already done suspension. Okay, so I've touched this one before. I've driven it before, obviously. Oh, it's straight in R3. We haven't even done the aero yet. That's crazy. I'm gonna leave the diff off. This honestly might. I don't know if it's gonna crack R2, but it's gonna get up there. Do the same. Let's do some BBSs on this one. So we got RK, RE, and RSGT. I'm gonna go with the REs. You know what we all like. And now it's time. Oh, I do want to see the other options for bumpers. We got Rieger. Rieger looks pretty good actually. I kind of like it. Apt. I'm not a fan of the app bumper. I'm gonna lie. It looks very base golfy. We got our big arrow. This will be kind of a race car as well. So. We actually do lose performance points with some of these. Ah, man, I don't like either one of those. I like the diffuser on the Rieger, but I hate the freaking Lexus exhaust. I'm going to leave the stock skirts on as well. So we got a high R3, it looks like, with that car. So yeah, we got a 758 on that. What's the Audi sitting at? 779. So it is a slight difference between the two. All right, let's jump in the Mark V. We're gonna go run this thing at this S-Class Championship. I'm gonna add a little bit of decal work on this one, make it look good, make it look more race car-y. make my own number plate for it. We'll do a white square. And I will, can I mirror this easily? I think I can just do the insert thing. We'll just pick a random, we'll just do number 7 just because that's an easy one. I'm actually going to do the same color as the car, I think. We'll do the... We'll do our big old VW right on the side. Kind of stagger it, put it back here. Yeah, we'll do right about here. I think that'll look good. And then we'll do another sponsor right on the side there. Let's see, is there another like racing thing we can do here? Do we have Michelin? We don't have Michelin. Oh, we do have Michelin. I'm just dumb. Oh, Yokohama. That's the tires I run. Ah, shoot. That's not what I wanted. The D-pad on this controller is a little scuffed. I'll try to get it a little bit. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and come back here. We'll do insert all from right to left, which it did not do. Maybe if I do... There we go. Now everything's mirrored though, so I gotta try to flip it all. Shoot. How do I flip this easily? Would I just do this? Yep, there we go. There's the one that was flipped. Okay, cool. Cool deal. Alright, let's go ahead and do one last thing. We're gonna put the Yokohama on the front. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of a design too, but I'm gonna handle that in a second. About 270 degrees. I'm terrible at this one. I'm gonna try to center it a little bit better. Let's go back to the side. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. Let's do... I want like a bit of a fade, but not quite like these. Spin it a little bit. I'm going to cut that and paste it at the very bottom. That's now made the Yokohama not show. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it here under the 7. I think that looks good. And I'm just gonna come back to the right side and we're just gonna clear the whole thing. And this I'm gonna need to... So do 3.54, I believe. I believe that's what I had that one set to. Let me see. Spin of 15 degrees. Spin of minus 15. I think actually that's actually I don't know, something's up with that, but I don't care enough to mess with it. Let's go ahead and put our rear design on. Kind of complete the rear. And we will add the VW on the back. We'll put it... I don't know, we don't need a VW on the back. I'm gonna go ahead and add the number plate though that we designed earlier. And put it right here on the door. We need R7. Not an 8. The D-pad in this controller drives me crazy, dude. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again just for thoroughness sake, honestly. I bought the console and the controller from DK Oldies, and they sent me a busted up console and a controller that was actually in really good shape, but didn't work. Like the physical shell of the controller was like new, but the circuit board on the inside was pretty bunk, and it didn't work at all. I bought the USB cable to try to convert it to wired, which is what I've used ever since, and it didn't work. So I told them about it. They shipped me a controller that that works at least, but not very well, and is cosmetically in terrible shape. Like, this controller is busted, but the D-pad don't work very well. I probably should add the number plate on the hood. I just don't feel like it. I'm gonna put a Yokohama on one side of the bumper, this front, and then we'll add a BBS on the other side, and we'll be done. We can go race this thing. All right, I think our GTI is ready to race. I know that was a long little livery tool type thing, but hope you guys enjoyed sticking that out. Let's go race this thing and see what she can do on track. Our little Yokohama GTI race car. I don't expect this to be easy, considering the last time we did a World Championship event, I was getting smacked around real easy. I expect to see some supercars here, and that definitely makes me a little nervous how this is going to go. With our Mark V race car that we got going on here. Should be a good race, though. Camino Viejo de Montserrat, I believe I pronounced it right. This track's on Forza 3, is it not? I'm pretty sure it is. You know what I haven't seen in a while is a multi-class event that they did. Alright, our grid, we've got the Lamborghini Reventon, the Ferrari 599 GTO, the Roof RT12S, the McLaren MP412C, the R35 GTR, the Murcielago LP640, the Ferrari 458, our plucky little Mark V GTI, the Audi R8 V10, the C6 Corvette ZR1, a Lexus LFA, and a Mercedes SLS. So we are in quite the grid. This may be a fight for our lives, honestly, but I am all for it. I live for this. Let's see what our little GTI pretty much race car will do here against a field of supercars and a GTR. Major traction loss. Front wheel drive is definitely not helping me out there. We have dropped to 10th off rip. Not a great start. We've already taken some damage. This thing's a rocket once it gets moving, though. My goodness. This thing is a freaking beast on the straights. Oof, that bump is not ideal.
Harold Magnus Madsen said everything is possible in a game.
Oh, let's pretend that didn't happen. I was paying attention. I wasn't paying attention. I did not brake on time at all. Alright, coming into a pretty technical section. I think this is going to be where this car struggles a lot. front-wheel drive is not going to do very well in these more super tight technical sections. But apparently it's good enough to give the roof a run for its money. Not going to utilize first gear at all through these corners. Ferrari went off there. We might be able to punish him a little bit. Foot's down. This thing should be able to scream a little bit. Little bend here. Come on, little Mark V. Oh, big air. So we come into this pretty long sweeper. The Lambo's off. We're off. Everyone's off, except for the Ferrari. I don't quite know if that was a Frugo's Hamilton moment for the Ferrari, but come on. Pro is going abnormally slow through some of these corners. Like, that Ferrari could probably take a lot of these corners much faster. This is cooked. Goodness. We're on a straight. V12 versus turbo 4-cylinder, and the V12 is very obviously winning. It's a long straight, though. My goodness. Oh! That was... What was that? Those curbs made out of kryptonite or something? Take that to our advantage that we were able to get around him because of that. But I've cooked it bad. Pedal it a little bit. Come on. It's a long lap. Talk about a 10th to first. That was a crazy drive. It's not over yet, but feeling good about it. I like the fact this track's kind of a hybrid track because you've got very obvious like streets here without the center line and stuff, obviously. And then like a dedicated track at the top of the hill, so it's kind of cool. It's like a hybrid track. It's very Le Sarthe, Circuit de Le Sarthe kind of vibes in terms of that. As far as F1 tracks, I'm trying to think of like a true hybrid street closed circuit kind of deal. Off the top of my head, I'm having a hard time finding a parallel without looking at the calendar. The sectors where this car struggles a little bit. Let's see if we can make something happen here. A little understeer there. Took us into the grass a little bit. Power down so we can get out of the grass here. Going through a pretty quick sector of the track. Didn't really have to brake there. A little bit of air there. Definitely braking here though, because I do not want to repeat a last lap where I flew off right here. Pretty bad. Alright, here we go. Super long straight with a lot of room to run. See what our little Mark V can get up to. Says to brake. I don't think I need to. Apparently the game thought I did. That is so dumb to me. Why is that like bring you to a stop? Like there's nothing there. It's a speed bump effectively. But it's got like frickin' crazy physics on it. So I'm trying to figure out how I can go fast through there without hitting those. I may have to lift a little bit more. Okay, now the car just hates me. So that could continue on. I don't think if it brought me to a stop, it would end my race per se. Now it might. Goodness gracious. I was just genuinely trying to figure that out. If I could like breeze through there without getting stopped. Oh, I've cooked it bad again in that corner. That corner's killing me. Alright, looks like we are on course to get our dub here, and that is indeed a W. Man, that was interesting. What was our results here? The 599 took P2. $1,000 credit damage penalty, not too bad. Okay, we are going to get a new prize card choice here after these heats are over, I believe. I don't think I'll get it right now. If it does, cool. I'll pick something cool, but if I don't get my choice first, if I don't, yeah, there we go. Y'all get what I was trying to say. I was butchering it, but y'all get the idea. All right, here we go. Round 2. Later in the day, big burnout at the beginning there. Trying not to get hung up on the dirt too bad there. See, that was what I was trying to avoid, was hitting these slower cars in the back of the grid. Because they'll park on the line.
Harold Magnus Madsen said, who needs a supercar when you can use a Golf?
Bingo. This guy gets it. This is one thing I like about Forza, is you're able to get away with a lot more like crazy builds than you would on GT. Because I'm on a bet, if I tried doing this in Gran Turismo 4 or Gran Turismo 3 even, and try to beat the whole game with it, I physically couldn't. It would be physically impossible. Gran Turismo 2, yeah. I mean, I beat GT2 Plus with an Evo. That interior view is among the worst I've seen for a Mark V GTI.
Supreme said, what console are you playing on?
The 360. It's a ancient 360S that I bought for overpriced and DK oldies. It was overpriced as crap. But yeah, this is real hardware, no emulation on 360. This little sweeper here was killing me in the last race. Let's see if I can make something happen here. Can't get my Lewis Hamilton moment there, but it's okay. Wrenching the long straight. Let's see if we can reel them in with this thing a little bit. See what this little 2-liter can do. Not quite a lot, it looks like. It looks like they're still pulling away from pretty good. I'm going to dab the brakes a little bit because you guys saw last race. I came through Europe Mach 7 and hit those, and for some reason it just has kryptonite physics and it just stops the car immediately. Oh, big crash. I guess let's not be ballsy. Let's just stay behind them and I'll find a better option like that to pass. Just like that. That was perfect. That's what I should have done the first time. This corner was really killing me during the first heat. bit of off-roading. I mean, Volkswagen is a pretty good rally. Have more WRC championships than Subaru and Mitsubishi, actually.
Supreme.
Manufacturer championships.
Said why is the turning so bad?
Because it's Forza. I will say I've never, even Gran Turismo 7, like, these Simcade physics just aren't for me. Like, Gran Turismo 7 is probably the one I cope with the best. I have probably the least errors in Gran Turismo 7. But I do firmly believe, like, the more hardcore sims are the way to go if you want, like, the best physics possible. Your R factors, LMUs, and iRacing and stuff like that. iRacing will humble you. If you think you get good at one of these games, you go play iRacing, and then you just spin and crash on your first practice session, it sucks. Because that's how I was. I was like, man, I'm pretty good at GT7. I might be able to do pretty good on iRacing. And then my very first session, I bin it on a track I know I can drive a GT really well. Like, that was obviously last year. I've gotten much better at iRacing since, but like, dang.
Supreme. Said are you playing with the wheel or controller?
So the 360 didn't have any compatible racing wheels, and I feel like unless I hack the system, I can't get my Fanatec on here, so I'm playing on the original 360 controller. And I stated earlier, when I bought this thing from DK Oldies, they sent me a really junk controller, so there's probably a lot of issues with this thing. Like, I know that the D-pad definitely doesn't work very well. I have to like sit here and press the up button like 6 times for it to move. But yeah, I'm on controller this time. Most of the time I'm on wheel. But games like this and pretty much all the retro racers, I have to play on controller because I physically can't use the wheel with them. But otherwise, I would be using the wheel. Alright, let's see if I can come through here a little bit better. I can. So that was full lock. I think, I physically don't think I can take this flat out. I just don't think it's possible. I'm going to take a big lift. Still caught that edge though. I hate that freaking curb right there. Why is that a thing? Like the gravel physics, crap, that corner got me. Like the gravel physics in this game already ticked me off enough, but those stupid curbs, they're getting so crazy understeer. I feel like big this thing to turn right now. Goodness. Alright, here we go. Last little bit here. I'm going to try to aim pretty far on the inside line here so I don't swing off track. But that worked out. A little bit closer than last race, but it worked out. What was our race results? That was the Ferrari behind me. It was indeed. But hey, we just beat a group of supercars and a GTR. Well, actually, I should just single out the GTR. The Corvette's in here too. This is before the Corvette would really be supercar status, in my opinion. All right, let's see what we got. We should, I think, yeah, we bumped up into level 8 affinity with GW. Cool, love that. All right, we did get a prize car thing a minute ago. Let's see what our options are for this one. I'm curious. It said Ring Kings, so I'd assume something faster than Nürburgring. Should be something cool. Should be something really cool. I'm kind of curious now. It's the GTR, the Viper ACR, and the C6 ZR1. So you have a hard choice. I have gone on record and will continue to go on record that I absolutely hate how GTRs drive in racing games. I have driven them in every racing game they've ever been in, and I have yet to find a game that I sit there and I'm like, the GTR is a fantastic car to drive. I cannot stand how they drive in games. They feel heavy. They're super understeery. It just does not fit my style at all. The Viper is cool, but I honestly prefer the last gen, but obviously that's not in the game because it didn't exist when this game came out. The ZR1, I mean, I've already got 2 C6 Corvettes. This one's not going to drive much different. I'm really torn between these two. The Viper would probably fit my driving style better. But maybe Forza 4's physics play better with the GTR. But I also haven't given any American brands the time of day during this entire series. I have so many American cars, and I've barely driven any of them. Let's go with the ACR. Oh, I was going to say, please tell me there's a blue. Blue's my favorite color. I need the blue. I know the red and black is kind of like the signature scheme for the ACR, but I love blue. Blue is my favorite color. All right, where are we heading to next?
Today,
Going back to America. What we got? Sedona.
Raceway Park.
I believe this is a fictional track, right? Or is it real? All right, we got a C-Class World Tour, a B-Class World Tour, in America's Big 3 Speedway event. Which I imagine would be a good test ground for our Viper we just picked up. And it is in that S-Class rank. Let's go ahead and just throw it out there. Let's I'm gonna add a couple. I'm gonna do a very minor upgrade session with this thing. Get a little bit more steam out of it. Bump it up to that. Okay, it's already got a couple mods on it. Why does it have parts on it? I just got this thing. So it can do. Oh, cams will shoot that thing straight in the R3. Okay, apparently it's just already modified. That's kind of lame. Let's see. I'd rather stiffen the rear. Well, I guess we can go ahead and throw both side sway bars on. Can't do weight reduction. It's on stock tires. Yeah, I think our options are very limited on what we can do. Aspiration conversion. Oh gosh, we can do a twin turbo Viper. That'd be crazy, but it's beyond regulations. Look, that's about as good as we're going to get, is like what we added to it. Alright, this being a speedway event, I imagine, I didn't get a good look at what track map we're using here, but I imagine it's the oval. This is about to be, if this is on the oval, this is about to be the quintessential American event right here. Oval racing in a Viper with a big wing on it that's going to produce so much drag that now I'm kind of regretting not picking the Corvette. Oh, it is the oval, except we're going right. What? Why are we going right? That is not how oval racing works in America. We always go left. Alright, grid. We've got another Viper, C6ZR1, two C6 Z06s, an 03 Viper, 4 GT, got ourselves C6 Grand Sport, a 99 Viper, and a C5 Z06. A lot of Corvettes. A lot of Corvettes. Alright, so what this ACR can do right here. Starting to regret the choice a little bit because that wing is going to really slow us down. Rolling start also would have been nice. Why are y'all hanging out in the apron for? That's not okay. Why are we braking? It's an oval. It's in a bit of a slipstream here. Why is he braking? It's an oval track. He pretty much flat out for the whole lap. I was hoping I could just lift. I definitely needed to dab the brakes a little bit there. Well, why were they braking on turn 2 in the first lap from a standing start? That's just dumb. It's like a little baby bank too. It's like a baby speedway. Not quite Bristol, but definitely a baby speedway. The track is like barely banked. Ooh, big hit. How much damage did that do? Not a lot actually. Some minor scratches. We'll buff out. Foot down. See what that first person view looks like. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. Oh. There we go. Use my other hand. Not great, but not terrible either. Ah, wrong button. Take it again. Son of a gun. Panicked a little bit there. Viper's not bad though. Here's pedal drive on a. Oh, big crash. Yikes, that was a bad one. That was better. Still at the wall, but it's a much more minor impact. I think at some point I am going to stream EA WRC. Talked about it earlier, but played a lot of Dirt 2 back in the day. And that was like one of the only like hardcore rally games I've played. Even called Dirt Arcade, like more hardcore rally. I know Dirt Rally is very hardcore rally sim, because I know that the community between EA WRC and Rally 2, Dirt Rally 2.0, they hate each other apparently. I only chose EA WRC over Dirt Rally 2.0 because it's the new hotness. And Dirt Rally has a lot of rally cross stuff. I'm not really interested in rally cross, so that was kind of part of the deciding factor as well. But maybe we'll stream EA WRC at some point. That might be fun. Y'all can watch me learn that game, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm pretty bad at it. I'm really bad at EA WRC. Like, that's probably the game I struggle with the most right now. And maybe do some F1 stuff. I had a lot of issues with getting F125, or not F125, F124 working. But now it works. So I was having issues where it was like crashing on startup and it wouldn't even load up the game. Turned out it was a corrupted file with EA stupid kernel level anti-cheat. I really hate EA easy anti-cheat. Like, that is, it's so bad. And it's not because, oh, I want to cheat. It's just a bad anti-cheat. Like, they couldn't have used BattleEye. They couldn't have used what is it that Halo uses? I can't remember. They couldn't have used any of those. They had to go out and make their own. And we all know EA likes to mess things up. I got a few more laps. We are looking like we might be lapping some people here in a moment. Trying to keep it off the apron, but that's easier said than done. Dang it. I'm really trying to get a clean lap, but that specific wall is finding every way it can to keep that from happening. You know, surprises wing is sticking this car to the ground where I'm not hitting those walls, honestly, but maybe it's just carrying too much speed. That's so lame. I even hit the brakes. But hey, we got the dub. I'd imagine second place was a Corvette, but let's see. It was actually another Viper. Cool. Viper gang. All right. 2,600 credit damage penalty. I mean, I know it's tapped the wall a few times, but dang. My neck is killing me. All right, next up on our list. Where are we off to next? Stay in America? Something tells me Willow Springs. Infineon, okay. I guess it's Sonoma now, but... All right, we got 10-cylinder salute. We got the Viper Club and the CTSV Club. The 10-cylinder salute, I'm leaning the LFA for this one. Stretch its legs a little bit. It's been a minute since you've driven the LFA. My neck is really hurting. It's like I got a crick in my neck, and then kind of sitting this way to watch both monitors. I have one of which obviously has the game, the other one obviously has all my streaming stuff, is really bothering my neck right now. I'm going to keep this going for a little while longer, probably closer to that 2-hour mark. We're about a minute, or an hour and 45 into this. It's pushing 10:30. I try not to be up super late. All right, starting grid. We've got Gallardo, 2 Vipers, the R8, a Devon GTX, which I talked earlier. It's kind of an interesting, weird little car. Myself, a Gallardo, and then a second LFA. See what this thing can do. Last stream, I drove it, and it made me want to rip my hair out a little bit because it was just sliding everywhere. Our local car museum here in Georgia, it had a LFA there recently, and I got to see it, and I was all over it. It's always been one of my favorite cars, if not my favorite car to ever come out of Japan. Is it the fastest? No. Is it the best on track? No. But is it by far the best sounding? Yeah. It's probably one of my favorite exhaust notes of any car. And I know that's everyone's argument with the LFA is how good it sounds. And everyone thinks it's like overhyped or whatever, but I am one of those. I will die in the hill. It's one of the best sounding cars ever made. How come I can drive this track better in this game than I can in GT4? I seem to love the walls in GT4 out here. The baby dirt drop there. Picking up some ground pretty quick here. Why is this lap already invalidated? Or at least given the triangle of shame? This thing is making easy work of this race. I wasn't having so much trouble with it, or like last stream. It was sliding all over the place, and I was getting irritated with it. Like, I started to skid there. I was like, did I speak too soon? Was I giving this thing too much hype?
Harold Magnus Madsen said the LFA not same engine sound as in GT5.
Yeah, I think I will say this is what drove me crazy about the LFA in GT5 and GT6. If you did anything other than the stock exhaust, it sounded horrendous. Like I think it sounded better stock for stock in GT5, but the fact that I was able to put a modified exhaust in this car to get more power and it still sound the same as it did before makes my heart happy, because gosh, GT5 and 6 did this car so dirty with the aftermarket exhausts. Like the race exhaust and all that stuff. Oh my goodness. Every LFA I ever built in GT5 and 6 was down on power because of that. I couldn't bring myself to drive them with like the race exhaust. It sounded so bad. GT5 really did a bad job with sounds and on a lot of like modified exhausts for cars. Most of the cars sounded pretty good stock. The moment any sort of aftermarket exhaust went on them, it's like that went out of the window. Still finished lap with the triangle of shame, but I mean, hey, it's better than, well, not anymore. We all didn't see that. That didn't happen. See, look, didn't happen. Yep, see, we're making the corner, no problems. I didn't see anything. I totally didn't hit that wall. And across the line, another W. What was our results here? What do we got? It was the Gallardo and then one of the Vipers to finish out the podium. Kind of surprised to see the other LFA and the R8 so far down. No damage penalty. That makes my heart happy. We did level up to level 33. Iconic Concept is the theme for these next prize cars. And we've now achieved level 4 affinity with Lexus, which gives us free parts on all Lexus cars. Alright, we looked at the Miura concept earlier, so it's good to see that here. We've got the Saleen S5S Raptor and the SLR Sterling Moss. See, here's where I'm torn, because I've driven the Sterling Moss before and Need for Speed Shift 2. So I have experienced it, but it's been many years since I've driven it. The Miura concept, I have never driven in any racing game, because I didn't even know it was in this game until today. The Saleen, I just don't have any attachment to it. I think I'm going to go with the Lambo Miura. The concept car. We'll have both gens of Miura. So it looks like it only comes in one color, which sucks. Because I'm not keen on that like greenish yellow color. I find it kind of ugly.
Now it's back to Japan for a race on the
Alright, we're going
world
back to Japan.
renowned
Was this
Suzuka
Suzuka? Okay. What we got at Suzuka, like what are we looking at? We've got the Asian Super Sports Challenge, the Class S Asian Tour, and again that CTSV Club. That CTSV Club is just active, I guess. Like they're everywhere. Mystery bonus on the Asian Super Sport Challenge. And it's definitely a race for the LFA. One thing I want to do real fast is I want to change the color in that Lambo. I'm not keen on that green. And it's going to bug me that it even is that green. Dang, it's a S-Class car too. That's crazy. Let's paint this thing. We're going to change it up to a different green. I'm going to keep the car green. I'm just not going that green. I think we'll go with like this green. Like that looks very not very looks kind of close to Verde Mantis, I feel like. I'm not gonna add any decals. Let's see, is there any races we can use this in? Dang, R3 for the Lambos. Oh, we can do the Asian Tour because it's for all S-Class cars. Honestly, this might be one of our last races of the night, depending on how long it is. I'm getting tired. I've been tired. I didn't sleep well last night. I am exhausted. But I really wanted to get this stream tonight and hang out with you guys and play this game some more. Let's see what the Miura concept car can do out here. That's another thing. I'm going to give Forza 4 some serious props because Grenchesmo 4 dropped the ball. You can't use concept cars in any regular race, and I think that is a crime. I don't know if that was because people were able to get the CN so easy, like really early in the game, but I feel like that was a complete disservice to cars like that, like the Nike 1, the V12, the W12 Nardo Volkswagen, cars like that. I would have loved to have been able to use those more frequently than I did in all my playthroughs. Yikes, this is going to be crazy. Mine's GTR, R34, and R32. We got a R35 GTR. Top secret Nissan Silvia. An NSX RGT, myself, a Subaru S204, and a 370Z. The 370Z is probably going to be the slowest car here. I would be genuinely surprised that car didn't finish in last. Those Mines cars are going to be a bit dangerous. Alright, let's see what this Lambo can do. I've never experienced this car in any game ever. I've only just known of its existence. This interior is pretty much just the Gallardo retooled slightly. Like the cluster looks straight out of the Gallardo. Steering wheel is definitely out of the Gallardo. Okay, is this the club layout, I assume? Or the E-circuit or whatever? I think it is. Alright, we're in a P2 already, which is kind of surprising. I figured that mine's R32 was going to give me grief. Part of the track I struggle with most. I have been determined to master these S's at the very beginning of Suzuka. Such a good track, though. Okay, the braking in the middle of the corner really gets on my nerves. Especially when that car can easily make that. It's obvious I have the top speed to get around him, so I'm just gonna hope that once we get on the straight here, I can just pin it. He's top ending me a little bit, but I was able to get by him. It does look good though. Oh, he late braked me. Okay, I see that. Okay, AI. It kind of sucks though because these guys are going to be a pain to get around and through the S's. Because they're going to break in the middle of the corner. I have to kind of cut the track just to make it around them. Unless I want to go for a move on the outside. I'll late break him a little bit there. He's able to fire at a corners way better than me. Come on. Get that V12 screaming. Just got a little squirrely there. This thing's good. I actually really like this thing. It drives really good. It sounds pretty good. And it sounds like a Lambo, honestly. It's a very good sound, but definitely not quite the same as what I know Murciélagos to sound like, because I imagine that's where this engine would have been shared, is with the Murciélago at the time. Judging by the taillight design, probably the LP640, honestly. While the sounds in this game are not bad, they're definitely not the best in the business. They were definitely better than GT5 for the most part. Like I said, stock exhaust sounds, GT5 kind of soloed. But modified exhaust, this game does the best because it stays true to the car's typically real sounds. Alright, 2 laps to go pretty much. The GTR is able to hang up with me in the corners, which is not fun. But I'm able to kind of run on the straights, so that's where I've been kind of catching the saving grace of this run. Okay, no triangle of shame yet. Can we keep that? That's my goal right now, is to not finish this race with a triangle of shame on a lap. Come on. Oh yeah, we got it this time. No triangle of shame for us. Heck yeah, that makes me happy. It's been a while since I've been able to do that. So we can be more aggressive, but also still not get the triangle of shame. Nope. Wow, that is some crazy grass. What kind of grass does Suzuka get? Wow. This is the craziest grass I've ever seen. Yeah. I want to know what their supplier is for the grass that's going to stop a car like that. That's crazy. Ooh, dip that rear right, the rear left in there, grass here. Got me a little nervous. 7-speed transmission. Okay, did not expect that. 2006. That's kind of unheard of. All right, mine's R32 got the nod between the two Nissans, and I'm the only one without the triangle of shame. Love that. 600 credit penalty though. That's lame. At level 2 Lamborghini Affinity, level 3 Affinity. Okay, we jumped up 2 Affinity levels just like that. That's kind of cool. Alright, I think it's about time to wrap this up. Your boy's tired. We've hit 2 hours. It's pushing 11. It's almost a quarter till. Your boy is very
Now it's
tired.
time for another attempt.
But we are heading to Sebring next. Okay, I can get down with that. We made it quite a ways through. About halfway through the series. Man, the club circuit though, come on, give me a lap around the real racetrack. Come on, man. Let's see what. I guess these are all like player card stuff. Yeah, probably a bunch of badges and stuff. Drive 10 miles at IMS. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, there's another one here. Lexus. Kind of just going through cleaning all these up because it's gonna bug me. I'm missing one more. What's the other one? Bugatti. Okay. What do I have in VW? Like, have I gotten that third rung yet on that one? Wow. Okay, I haven't even hit level 10 affinity on VW yet. Okay, that's crazy. Change title. We'll scroll up a little bit of ways. Okay, iconic affinity. See, bring it. I like it. Statistics. Yeah, there's a lot of these badges. I haven't gone through here and like clear these out in a while. Because, I mean, it's been so long. Okay, got that cleared. What are the badges I'm missing? Heck is that? I've gotten a lot of these. Is that furry? Pause. I could see that being someone's persona. TBH. The rabbit. Very VW-esque. See if I'm missing anything else. Okay, there's another achievements tab. Got a lot of these apparently. Wow, I really haven't checked any of these. That's all of those. Alright. Let's wrap things up for the night. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. This was really fun. More of this to come soon. I'm going to try to get more done on this game. I think the next stream, if I don't do this game or A-Spec again, we're going to try out EAWRC. So thank you guys for tuning in. This was really fun. Appreciate all of you, and I will see you guys next time. Have a